Okay, this will probably be a few minutes long, so just bear with me. This is the string right here that I'm going to be cottoning. So I'm going to take the cotton off first, and there's two ways you can actually roll the wheel backwards, and you can see it kind of loosens the cotton on the wheel or on the string. Then you lift it up and you just use your fingernail and scrape it away till you got a little bunch right there or somewhere along the line, and then you just pull it off and put it on the ground for your cat to play with. Okay, so then you want to take a little bit of cotton. So I don't use a lot of cotton. You want to use very, very little. The idea is just to protect the string from the wheel and to create a nice even surface for the wheel to the rosin on the wheel to grab to. So this is the cotton I used. You can see I usually tend to do this because it's clear that you can see through it. It's not very thick. There's some little like thicker patches right in here, but that's not terribly important. So that's about that's how much cotton you want to use in general. So cotton, I'm going to set that aside for right now because we're going to do the next very important step. So this step is often forgotten, missed, uh, just kind of sometimes it doesn't happen because of laziness, but it always needs to happen. So rosin, I use cake rosin. Hill medium rosin works great, light or medium. You don't want to use um, the dark rosin because it's usually for cellos and things like that. It tends to have a little wax in it to help it move a little better, but it's also really harsh. So tiny little bits of that make a huge sound, but they can also a little extra can cause it to sound really harsh. So just a simple cake rosin, it's $7 or $8, or if you want to spend $48 and get some really expensive stuff with gold in it, you can do that too. But really cheap rosin works great. Um, so take the rosin and you find a wound string. So these are my drones here, and you just drag it across the drone string, and you can see some of it kind of ended up on the soundboard. And what you're going to do is make some essentially rosin powder that sticks to the surface of the cake, and then you're going to take that cake of rosin and you're going to lift up the string that you're putting the uh, cotton on, and you're going to drag the rosin across it sideways. Don't go back and forth, especially if it's a gut string. You could probably do this if it's a plastic string or if it's a wound string. But if you have a gut string like these, you definitely don't want to run back and forth this way because it tears the fiber of the gut, and it'll essentially damage the string to the point that it'll probably break. Really, it decreases its lifetime dramatically. So rosin, scrape it across there. You can hear I'm kind of putting some pressure on there to make it stick. You want to make it stick. If you're using like nylon strings, you really want to dig in there and really want to get a surface. You want to see on the string, which may be difficult to see here. You want to see if you've got a nylon string, you definitely want to see it's like a matte finish. You can see that the rosin is sticking to it, and when you run the rosin over it, you can feel it tug on it. That's the way that you know that there's rosin on there, but you always put rosin on. Every time you take cotton off, rosin it, then put new cotton on. Don't forget. Okay, back to the cotton. Cotton is here, right? The cotton needs to be roughly the width of the wheel. So it doesn't have to be exact. You can kind of smooth it out and work with it to get it to where you want it. And then that's pretty much it. That's all you got to do. So, and as far as just getting the cotton to be in line, remember, not a lot, very thin, not a lot of cotton at all. Okay, so then here comes the tricky part. You have to learn to do this. Middle finger and lift the string, and then I'm going to lift this one up so it doesn't make any noise. So lift this string up and then hold this cotton. Get it back in frame. Hold the cotton against the wheel and turn the wheel, and the cotton should work its way underneath the string. Then put the string back down on the cotton. So now you've got cotton on the string, cotton on the wheel, and what you're going to do is it should be kind of in the middle. You can lift it up and straighten it out. This isn't a life or death situation. So then what you're going to do is you're going to turn the wheel a very little bit. So you're going to turn the wheel a tiny, tiny little bit until the cotton begins to fold upwards, and then you stop. Don't keep cranking. You don't want to keep going crank, and it's going to fling right out of there. So tiny little turn. The cotton should kind of curl up a bit. Then you're going to take this part of your thumb, that part right there, and you're going to fold the cotton over towards you and towards the back side of the wheel. Then you're going to turn the string some more, and you're going to see it starts to grab. Now it's a little lumpy right now, but I'll fix that as I'm going. So essentially you're going to keep, what you're going to do is keep folding it and grabbing it. You're going to keep kind of petting it over on the back side with this part of your thumb. You don't want to have really you don't want to eat nachos or anything just before you do this. Make sure your hands are fairly clean. But you shouldn't be too concerned about touching the wheel with this part of your finger, for the limited amount of time you're going to do this. So anyway, turn. And then the other thing, so now it's starting to bunch up. The other thing you can do is put a little pressure, now that it gets to this, put a little pressure on the string on the front or the back side. So you can push down both sides and cause it to bind up some more. And then you're going to take you want to take the pad of your finger here and stick it down there, but kind of roll it farther up, a little farther up, kind of almost to the knuckle crease here, just a little front of that. And then you're going to take your thumb and you're going to pinch the string. You're going to pinch it this way. So not just pinching it, but pinching and twisting, so that you're going to grab the string, and what you want to do is control the string so that you can turn the string towards you. So you're going to rotate the string towards you, and it will grab all those little loose filaments that are hanging out on the back side, and then you should have a playable string. Now this one, I'm a little shy here and a little shy here on the cotton, which is fine with this instrument. You don't want the cotton to extend beyond the edge of the wheel. Make sure that the cotton is only up to the edge of the wheel and doesn't come off. The reason for this is that this edge of the wheel, the outside, both outsides of the wheel, are the portion of the wheel where the grain is the most open. And what happens is, as it gets towards the edge, the grain tends to open up and stick up. And it kind of, sticks out a little bit, and it's rough. And so what happens if you put too much cotton on it, it goes around that rough portion of the wheel. I don't know how to present that. Anyways, it goes around the rough portion of the wheel, and it grabs the rough part and then drags the string with it as you turn. So you just want to be right inside those edges of the wheel. Don't extend. They don't want to extend beyond that. If they do that, you can yank off some of the cotton to pull it out of the way, to clean it up, or you can take the whole thing off and do it all over again. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I've seen professional players. As a matter of fact, I watched a truly professional player, like this is his living, this is what he does, he only plays hurdy-gurdy. I've watched a truly professional player replace the cotton on a string 6 times in a row because he was not happy with it. So don't worry about having to do it again. It is a function of the maintenance of the instrument. The more you do it, the better you get. Let's see. I think that's it.